Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining me in today's practice. My name is Beth. Welcome. Now, make your way to the mat and let's start an easy pose, hands in front of our heart. Feel the earth that you are sitting on. Feel the air. Feel the space. Just being aware. When you have it, simply close the eyes and tune in. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice. Now, I always say, come from a beginner's mind. When the student is ready, the teacher will be available. Vice versa, when the teacher is ready, there will be an audience or students to follow. Now, as you are here in this moment, if you find these classes and content of value, I would like you to join the Home Green Wellness family. Gently open your eyes. We will start with breath of fire. It sounds like a hissing sound, so take a full breath in and we draw in our belly as we force the air out from the nostrils. So it sounds like release that and allow yourself to switch hands. This time, place the left hand on top of your belly and take a full breath in, and we begin. This will quickly warm you up and allow yourself to really feel clearer and allowing yourself to do a seated cat and cow, looking up and looking towards the belly and rounding. Allowing yourself to relax the shoulder here. And of course, you have to smile, don't frown the face. We are practicing yoga. Do a couple of these on your own. Allowing your chest to lift as you look up and allowing your chest to round as you look towards the navel. You can go as fast or slow. There's no judgment. Just allow your body to move organically. And come to neutral spine. Open those hands wide. We're going to bring the left hand over to the right knee and reach the right hand up. A gentle spinal twist to warm up the spine. Hands open wide and we switch hand. This time the right hand over to the left knee and float the left hand up. Keeping your spine long. Coming back to center, one more for good measure. Left hand, right knee, and float the right hand up. Notice as your breath change. And open again. Repeat on the left side. This time the left hand floats up. Come back to center, hands open wide. And allow yourself to twist and allow your wrists to circle around. Again, do what feels comfortable before you start a yoga practice. Moving at your own pace. And this time, again, circling the wrists. This will serve us for a downward dog. Bring the hands towards your armpit like a peacock or a chicken or a turkey and moving side to side. It's one of those Kundalini exercises where we again really cultivate our breath. Noticing how that feels on your wrist if you've been texting, sitting in the office typing. Reach the hands all the way up. And then we really find our shoulder here and draw the shoulder away from the ears. Using your left hand to guide the left shoulder down. Breathe in and breathe out. When you have it, switch. This time the left hand is assisting the right hand and allowing that shoulder to come down. Noticing how this feels. Again, don't force it. If you can reach towards the shoulder. Again, one more time for good measure. Noticing your breath. And repeat again on the right side. Coming back to center. Reach the hands all the way up and we make ourselves to come into tabletop. Checking in that the knee is underneath the hip, hands underneath the shoulder for cat and cow. Inhale, you look up for the extension. As you exhale, contract. You look towards the navel. So allowing yourself to again feel the pose, feel your breath. Breath is the integral aspect of yoga. I can't emphasize it enough. The prana, the flow of energy. And then when you have it, come into child's pose. Come into the fingertip. Just stretch out. Feel your shoulders. Feel your hip reaching towards the heel. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Noticing your body. And rolling forward into tabletop. Lift the knee and stay in there, really engaging your core. First, straighten the arms, keep the knee bent, and then straighten the leg. Downward facing dog. As this is our first downward facing dog, you can bend and straighten alternate knee, noticing any tension on the lower back, making sure your legs are hip distance apart, and the hands are shoulder width apart. Find stillness in your downward dog and float your right leg in between the hand. Find the length, maybe the fingertips dangles on the mat. Taking a big breath in and a big breath out. From here, reach their hands back, draw the shoulder away from the ears, look forward to lengthen. Push on the ball of that left leg. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up. High lunge, crescent lunge. Noticing your breath. Exhale, bring the hands to the mat. Straighten the right leg, make sure your hip is squared. Bend the right leg and reach the right hand up like an arrow. Open the heart. Find that gentle twist. Keeping the hip neutral as you square the hip. Exhale, bring the right hand into the mat, and then we come in to Warrior 2, Vidrasana 2. Tucking the tailbone under, keep pushing on the outer edge of the left leg, and bring both hands to the mat. Lower your left knee, maybe use your right hand to assist in this modified frog. Remember your breath. And then take the right leg back, downward facing dog. Release any tension. And when you have it, back to plank. Yogi push-up, you can lower your knee on the mat if this is challenging. Upward facing dog or cobra. As you exhale, take your time and we meet in downward facing dog. So breaking these poses one at a time helps to go deeper into the pose. You come into that low lunge modification, hands are barely draping towards the floor. Lengthen the back of the neck, push on the right leg, square the hip. As you have it, hands reach back like an airplane pose. Pulling the belly towards the spine, bending that left leg, really engaging on the core strength here. Shoulders draw away from the ears. And then float the hands all the way to the sky. Look towards the sun. Crescent lunge, high lunge. As your breath change, exhale the hands to the mat. Right hand stays and float the left hand to the sky. Twisted lunge, noticing your breath. Pushing on that right leg, extending. Of course, squaring the hip. As you exhale, inhale, lift up, Virabhadrasana 2. Making sure your shoulders are neutral, you're not hyperextending. Taking a big breath in and a big breath out. Exhale, cartwheel both hands inside the left leg. Drop your right knee. Use the left hand to assist. Remember, your smile allows others the permission to smile. Breathe in, lift the right leg, and take the left leg back and up this time. Three-legged dog. Lower the left leg, making sure your hands are shoulder width apart, rolling forward into your plank. Yogi push-up, top of the legs on the mat. Breathe in, exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Excellent job. Right leg floats to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring that right leg in between the hand, lifting those hands, engaging the core towards the back of the room for airplane pose. Then inhale, reach the hands all the way to the sky. High lunge, crescent lunge. The more you practice, the better you get at it. So remember, come from a beginner's mind. Twisting here, if you have it. Noticing your breath. Lowering the left leg 60 degrees and come into warrior 2. More you bend that right leg, more you square the hip. Open those wings, those shoulders down, checking in. Notice your breath, notice the strength, that warrior that you are. Bring both hands inside the right leg, opening the hip. This is a good pose to open the hip. You can adjust the right leg to open and bring your forearm on the mat. Checking in. The first time you did it, maybe a little challenging. Breathe in and out. Lift the left leg and send the right leg back and up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bring that right leg back down. Downward facing dog. Rolling forward into your plank, engaging the core. You can always lower your knee. Yogi push up into your upward facing dog. Smile, shoulder away from the ears. Downward facing dog. Bravo. Take that left leg all the way up. We have the both sides to do. Left leg in between the hand mindfully. Drape your hands, engaging your core, lifting mindfully. Hands reach back. Airplane wings. Engage your core. House your legs. Inhale, rise. Crescent lunge. You are much stronger than you think. Exhale the hands to the mat. Twist in here. Noticing your breath. Smiling. Breathe. Inhale. We're going to lift on up into warrior 2. Virabhadrasana 2. Shrug your shoulders away from the ears. Open those palms. And allow your hands to come inside the left leg. You can roll on the outer edge of the left leg now. Bring your forearm on the mat. Modify lizard pose. If this is at any point in time challenging, use any props you have available to support you. Take the left leg back. Downward facing dog. Rolling yourself forward into plank. Yogi push up. Upward facing dog. Top of the legs on the mat. Plank, exhale, downward facing dog. Now, check in. How are you feeling? Hands reach high. Have your breath change. Straighten your right leg. Really engage in your core. Bend the right leg. Feeling the flexibility. Straighten your right leg. Bending. Feeling stronger and finding strength. Bend the right leg. Exhale the hands down. Reach the right hand up. A twist. It's a full body. You can lower the left leg. You can catch that left ankle, feet, or put a strap open. If you further to go, you can bring your forearm on the mat. Like I said, come with a beginner's mind. Coming back into lizard pose. It is one of those poses when you're a beginner, you start to wonder, how tight is my hips? How open is my hips? With breath, you take the right leg back and up, three-legged dog. Remember, your breath is the integral for energy. Then coming into a side plank modification, flipping the dog, you can bring that right leg down. Coming forward into yogi push-up, upward facing. We all have limits, so modification is allowed. We meet in downward facing dog. Great job, everybody. When you're ready, taking a big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Taking the left leg in between the hand mindfully. Inhale, float those hands up like the goddess and the warrior that you are. Straighten the left leg, standing tall. Bending, smiling, because you know you are stronger. You are enough. One more time. Noticing your breath. Exhale, bringing the hands to the mat, and then taking another twist. Does it get easier? Let me know. You can bend that right leg, catching the back of that leg. You can stay on the hands. I stayed on the hand for years and I still continue to do. Often at times, I check in. How am I feeling? Each day, our practice evolves. How is your practice changing? With breath or without breath? Coming into your lizard pose, opening the leg. If you can. If not, you place the foot on the mat. This yoga is a judgment-free yoga. Breathe in and breathe out. When you have it, start to come into those hands. Lift the right leg and take the left leg back to the sky. Three-legged dog. Bending the knee, opening the hip. Slowly flipping the dog. This time bend both knees. Noticing your lower back. As long as you're not dumping the weight in your lower back, you are okay. Forward into your plank. You know where we are. Yogi push-up. You can lower your knee. Once again, upward facing dog. Pressing back into plank, engaging that lovely core. Thanking it for all it does for us. Support. Press back, downward dog. Lifting this heel, looking forward, stepping into your Navasana. Using the elbow at your discretion to open the knee. Notice your shoulder. Notice the back of the neck. Just listen to the voice. Your body knows what to do. Wide-legged forward fold. And we sit it down like we mean it. Open those hips. Bring the hands back on the mat. Straighten the leg. The more you stretch, the more the flexibility comes. Straighten. Breath. remains constant, bending. This time, bring the hands behind you. And then inhale. We're going to lift on up into our tabletop. Think about your coffee table or your tea table. And then slowly bending the left leg. Getting a quad stretch. We often neglect the quads. Coming back to tabletop, notice your tricep is getting a nice work there. We do so on the right side. Allow your smile to be there. Don't bite down. We repeat again for good measure. If this is challenging, maybe we found something that we can work together. The more you practice, all will come. Sitting down, crossing the right ankle over the left. Call it a lazy pigeon. Now, if you don't want to do lazy pigeon, you just come to downward dog and do it the traditional way. This is also good when you're in the office. Flex the left leg if you're crossing the leg. And look at your tricep, your bicep. How are they working here? Your shoulder. You know the time it is? You're going to lift the legs in Navasana. Straighten the legs a little bit challenging. But again, if you're a beginner, you can bend the knee. I stayed bent knee for a long time. Bring your lower back on the mat and catch your right knee. Give it a squeeze. Left knee, give it a squeeze. Just resetting your back a couple of times. I want you to check in. How's your core? We often say we don't have core strength. But again, we practice, all is coming. Then taking a big breath in, hands reach overhead. We're going to lift the right leg, left leg with the hands, alternating. Taking your time. Taking your time. If you only did one, that's awesome. The next time you do two. The next time you do three. So again, smiling. Don't take yourself too seriously. If you're unable to do all of them, who is to judge? No one. Catching your right leg, loving on it, bringing it towards your forehead. Hamstring lover. Switching legs. Lengthen the spine and lower down. Bend the knee. Make sure you can touch it with the longest finger, your middle finger. Take your time and lift on up into bridge. Just a couple of times. Really engaging the bum seat, the buttocks. Couple of times. You can do 1, 2, 3. Let's do 5. If you're following me, interlace the hand now. Lift the hip. Keep the legs hip distance apart. Don't widen your legs like mat distance apart. I know it's a video, but make sure you are practicing yoga mindfully. Coming into a reclining butterfly pose, Sutta Baddha Konasana. Place one hand on top of the belly and on top of the chest. Connect with your breath. But more especially, allow your knees to open. You can use your hand to assist and let gravity do the rest. When you have it, hug your knee in, give it a squeeze. Rocking side to side. Lengthen the spine. Reach the hands overhead. Straighten your legs, legs overhead. Take your time to support your back if you're going to come into a shoulder stand. But if not, you come into Halasana, plow pose. Interlace the hand. If your legs do not touch the floor overhead, support your back. You have one set of back. And then inhale, take the legs to the sky, shoulder stance. I've gotten a comment from some of you. You can do a headstand, okay? There is shoulder stance, but I ask you, what fear is holding you back from practicing a headstand? I have a tutorial on how to do a headstand. So I encourage you sometimes when you have less time, 5 or 10 minutes, maybe every 3 days, you practice. Counter pose, fish pose. It's important to let your palms face down. Bring the hands underneath the bum, head on the mat, legs point to the front of the room. Lift the sternum, taking a breath. You can go for a little bit more advanced, but you must bring your head on the mat. Lift your leg, lift your hands. Breathe in like the warrior that you are. Allow your legs to come on the mat. And then allow yourself now to, from here, see whether you can press into wheel pose. Take your time. Remember, if you are a warrior, there is nothing that you could not do. This yoga is a yoga practice. So maybe it's not so beginner, but there's some aspect, even I as a teacher can benefit in this course. Maybe you come back into bridge how you went in, or maybe you already came down. It is okay. Lower mindfully at your own time. Hug your knee in, allowing your back to release organically, allowing your back to stay on the mat, side to side, just being loving and kindly to your back. And then when you have it, cross the leg, open your hands, eagle arms, just releasing the shoulder, any tightness. Breathe in and out, and switching hands and switching legs. So eagle hand, eagle leg, reclining. How are you? Hug your knee in, give it some love. Cross the leg, we twist now. Noticing your breath and allowing the right leg to come over to the left as you look at the right side. It's important to make sure that your shoulder is on the mat. Once again, are you breathing? When you have it, unravel yourself mindfully, release, and we do the other leg. If you can cross once, okay. If you can cross twice, the key here is to make sure that the opposite shoulder is on the mat. Are you still in the beginner's bind? Coming back to center, head behind the ears, elbow open. We're going to bend and touch the other knee with our elbow. Cycling here, yoga cycle, Pilates cycle, engaging your core. See how many you can do. 20 or 30. Do as many as you can do. Start with 10. Start with 5. Start with 20. Go for it because you're stronger. Smiling here. Making sure not to over stretch your neck. Overdo it. It should feel like cycle. Come back down. Release your legs. Great job. Taking a breath in. We're going to move side to side. Preparing for that summer. Noticing your shoulder. Noticing what feels uncomfortable. Your head and shoulders off the mat. You're trying to touch your heels. Beyond your heels. Side to side. Your legs are only bent. Your lower back is safe. Keep smiling. How many can you do? with a comment below. Let me know. Again, if you're liking this type of content, let me know. Hands reach overhead again. You know where we are. Cycle it away. And let's do 10 maybe for you. 20. No judgment. I didn't count it. I counted 20 when I was doing it. But how many can you do? Is it a redo? Can you do up to 60? Can you go up to 100? So we say we're not stronger. We are strong. Keep smiling. Keep going for it. Keep going. Commit. Hug your knee in, lower down. Take a big breath in. Let it go. Inhale in. We go for the side to side with measure. Gotta keep that core honest and truthful. Keep working. Do 10. Go for 20. Max it out. You got this. I know that you were stronger when you came on your mat. So, if you're having fun, once again, let me know whether you can do a headstand or whether you would like to learn a headstand. And we practice. Reach those legs over to the sky and we flutter the legs and allow yourself to release the lower back. Be like a child. Come from a beginner's mind. Preparing yourself for slowing down. This is a short practice. Again, I have hour, 60-minute, 40-minute classes. Just staying here, releasing any tension on the shoulder and the back. Noticing your lower back stays on the mat. Breathe in and out. Flexing your toes. And then wrap your hands around. Releasing any tension that no longer serve you. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Start to rock forward and back. If you like to lay in Shavasana, I encourage you to do so. If not, you rock yourself to seated. And we finish with a light meditation. You can stay here as long as you like. Bring the hands on top of the knee. Close your eyes. Go within. How does it feel to come from a beginner's mind? Allowing your shoulders to release. Allowing your breath to come to normal. And we come into a gentle twist. Now I encourage you to always take a Shavasana. And we twist to the left side, making sure the neck is not strained here. Inhale, coming back to center. Reach the hands all the way. If you find this class of value to you, join the On Green Wellness family. Bring the hands in front of the heart, honoring the teacher within. The light in me honors and cherish the light in each and every one of you for joining me in this practice. I thank all the wonderful teachers for all they have taught us. Namaste. Guys, thank you so much. I enjoy teaching. What do you think about this 30-minute power yoga class for beginners? We're all beginners. Namaste. Thank you. I'll see all of you soon in the next one.